Okay, so this weekend, while I'm waiting for the CDI unit to come in from the USA, I'm going to check the electrical ground wire from the coil to the CDI unit. Okay, so we're waiting till next weekend, and we'll see how the new CDI unit goes. Okay, I think this is the CDI or ignition module, ignition computer. So here's the one that I purchased. This is the wrong one. This is the original one. So we've got 32469595 and 1200Q, and this is the one you want to watch if you're ever looking for a CDI unit. HDI, it says HDI there. You want to get that right, because this one here says all 1200S models, and another difference is that the serial numbers are the same, but there's an A on the end. See, there's no A on the one from the original one from the bike. Okay, so I'm going to open this up now. Just make sure it's got the right thing inside. Just hack through there. What have we got in there? Seems like CDI unit. They're called 1,000 things, you know. Ignition module, ignition computer, yeah, that's it. Okay, apparently this is from a very low mileage bike. He said something like 12,000 miles. I can't really see that all that well. It's probably not showing up very well on camera. We've got 32469595, 32469595, HDI, 1200Q, so that's a take. So just one more check. Okay, we've got white. Yeah, looks good. White, black and white, red, pink, white, black. There's no. Okay, so I'll call them as I see them. This one's white and black, mostly white. That's white and black, mostly white. This one is white and black, mostly black. This one is black. It seems black at the moment. Okay, so yeah, there is a few differences actually. Okay, so this is red and white. This is red only on this one here. This is pink and this is pink. Okay, so green, purple and white and black, green, purple and white and black. So the difference is here with the I'll just look into that further. Okay, so upon closer inspection I see that they're exactly the same. So we've got black and white, mostly white, black and white, mostly white, black and white, mostly black, black and white, mostly black. These ones are red and white, although you can't see the white on this one, and pink, so that's a goer. They say that it's off a very low mileage bike. I've got to say that the one from my bike looks newer. Okay, so we'll see how it goes. Okay, so here we go. Test the CDI unit out to see if it was a problem. Now I don't have all that many more cards to play with this bike, so this is just about the only trick up my sleeve, except for testing some wiring. So here we go. Okay, that's the one that came with the bike. That's the new one there, and you know, once again we can see that they're identical. There is a difference, and that is here at the joiner. You can see that this is thicker than this area here. This is the original. It's just got the plastic resting on the connector, and this has got some type of ribbed rubber protector there, just to keep the moisture out of the join. So the expense is 78 US, which is 105.13 Australian, and postage US it would be $27.09, and here it's $36.51. That's from Wichita, Melissa. Okay, the description is it's fairly lengthy. HDI ignition module, OEM part 3246595. Good used part for 1200 Sportster and Buell 1994, and newer with carb. I looked this part up to find out rev limit cutoff is 6500. Check with your specific bike's manual to assure fitment and compatibility. This module was removed from a 1994 Buell Thunderbolt S2 with 12,000 miles. It ran great, too great in fact, right up until the time it was wrecked. I will refund purchase price and shipping cost if this item is not in the working condition as described only. Make sure this part is compatible with your own bike before bidding or buying. Please ask questions and communicate with us via messages. Thanks for visiting our store. So this is the CDI unit that I installed, and when I pushed the starter button, it closed down the bike and took the bike about I don't know, about 3 or 4 or 5 minutes to reset itself. I'd say to Harley, if you're going to use different amperage or different wiring with these CDI units, just make sure that the plug fits the right system. Don't have it so that a different system can fit the same inlet. Here's an example of the difficulties I face doing my own mechanics here. This is the smallest I could get. It's actually 5 meters of you know, plastic PVC. I only need a little bit like that, and you know, this is the smallest amount I can find. I can't just sort of go into a store and buy a 3 foot long length or a 1 meter length. Yeah, this is the smallest amount. But looking on the bright side, you know, I'll be changing this out quite a lot, and because it does go yellow and brittle. That's the biggest building outlet in this place. Okay, so I found another fail system located on the new starter. That's it there, and when water drops down that hole there, that's going to get onto the main terminal there. So I'm just going to plug it up with silicon. The first one was just there. There was an actual hole straight into the case, the motor case. Okay, connecting the front and rear cylinder plug leads. Never crank or start your bike without the ignition system grounded. Okay, the first test is to turn the ignition on, press the starter button and see if the light stays on, just to make sure the electrical system stays on. Okay, so we know that that's the correct CDI unit, and now we'll go for a start. Okay, so I'll turn on the fuel. Okay, well, it's hopeful. Both exhaust pipes are hot, so both are firing. I did look through here to the see-through hose, and I put it on a reserve and I was able to fill it up, but there was an area from about there to there with no fuel in it. So I tipped a bit of fuel in the tank and we'll see what happens. Okay, what I'm going to do now is put the original CDI unit in. I don't think it's a CDI unit. Okay, so I can't start it with the old CDI unit, so I'll put in the new one. You may be able to see just in there the clear plastic that there's an actual bubble just from there to the outlet. There's the outlet there, and it's just bubble, although there is fuel in the carburetor. Okay, I can pretty well say that it's not the CDI unit. It's a very strange problem. I did have the bike going. It did run with the old CDI unit. The new CDI unit doesn't seem to, at this point, to be making any difference. There is spark at the spark plug with the spark plug tester. That's it for today. The battery's conked out. You know, there's no point system where I can just see if the gap's open and closed and find top dead centre. So that's it for today. The only thing that I can see is that air builds up. There's air between this point and that point. When I put it in onto reserve, you might be able to see some air go through now. I'll put it onto reserve now, and you can see there that little bit of air. So that could be a clue. That's when I put it on the reserve. Some sort of an airlock issue between the petrol tank and the petcock. So that's off, that's on, and that's reserve. The owner of the bike did say that he purchased this tank for the bike before he sold it. Now I'm wondering why it was sold in the first place and whether there's any issues with it. So you know, that's the next direction, and we'll try again tomorrow. As you can see there's plenty of fuel in the line. Any comments, suggestions, all welcome. Another surprising thing was the ignition system, or the charging system, was up around 13-14 volts. It seems a bit high, but it's fairly healthy. I know that 15 is too much and the regulator rectifier is not good, but it was around about you know, 13-14 volts running. As far as I can gather, that's fairly healthy.